Hi, this is Steve. I'm with Dana Manufacturing, and what we're going to be doing today is replacing the rotor assembly on a Supreme 2600 high drive pump. First thing we're going to do is remove the cover, and that just slides right off. And then we're going to disassemble the volute from the housing by unscrewing the 5 screws that hold it on. And the top 3 screws on the pump are backed up with a nut on the back side. So when you're taking those screws out, you just want to be careful not to lose those nuts. The 2 screws on the bottom of the pump, it inserts on the back side of the housing, so there's no nuts that are going to fall out on that side. Now we remove the volute from the housing, and you'll notice on the perimeter of the housing there's an O-ring. If that O-ring needs to be replaced, simply insert a small screwdriver underneath it and just peel it off. If it does not need to be replaced, then during the reinstallation, we're just going to put a coating of silicone grease on it. In this case, we will replace the O-ring. So we'll just rub a small amount of silicone grease onto the O-ring, creating a thin film of lubricant. And we'll just put that back into the groove and snap it on. This is the rotor assembly that's going to be replaced. Attached to it is an impeller, and there's a flange that rotates, and inside that flange is a ceramic bearing. And now we're going to proceed with the installation of the new rotor and impeller assembly. You'll notice on the surface of the housing there are 2 pins that protrude. Those 2 pins align themselves with 2 holes in the flange that are on the impeller rotor assembly. Slowly drop the rotor into the cavity and align the 2 holes on the flange with the 2 pins on the housing. You can then reinsert the volute, lining up the screw holes, and then start dropping in your screws. And you can just get them started. You don't want to tighten them down all the way until you've had all the screws placed in. The 3 screws on the top are going to require nuts on the back end. So just drop the screws in. The holes on the back side of the housing where the nuts are inserted are hex shaped, so they will captivate the nut and prevent it from spinning. Again, you don't want to do this with a power-driven driver. You want to do it with a manual screwdriver so you can get the feel of where you are during the reassembly process. And that is how the high drive 2600 gets reassembled after you've installed the new rotor and impeller assembly.